Hi, I'm Jacqueline Demeterio. I'm the costume designer of The Idea of You. We are going to break down some looks from the film. I started prepping in New York, and that was very important to me because we shot the film in Atlanta, the Bergdorf Goodmans and that sort of thing in New York, and all the designer boutiques, and even from like upstate New York, we did some vintage rentals and that sort of thing. Hayes' first Coachella outfit, that's a Jungmaven t-shirt, and then he's wearing Margiela trousers. So the cut of his pants were always, you know, a wider leg, a little slouchy, a little drop crotch sort of thing, intentional, to give him that cool factor. And a lot of Loewe, I used a lot of Margiela, Saint Laurent. They were all designers because that's what he would be wearing, even though it is just a classic tee and a trouser. But it was great fabric on the trouser, and we altered the t-shirt to make it to the perfect proportion for him. Nick and I had discussed Matt Healy from 1975. With him and with the band, the obvious comparisons are going to be made. You know, it was the One Direction and all of that. But it, of course, is dated now because that was so many years ago. I liked sort of the casual feel of what they did as opposed to being too glossy or too shiny or suits and all uniformed looking. It just felt natural with Nick to just sort of land where we did. And then once we just were like, let's stay a little more cool, you know, like keep it classic, but have those sort of details and those touches where we can make it work. And that's kind of how we landed with Hayes. This dress is a Chanel vintage dress. What caught my eye about this dress was the chenille on top, and then it's this beautiful silk skirt. And the color was so vibrant to me, that purple that her and I had been discussing with our palette. I just knew like this was gonna be one of the dresses that we were gonna see a lot. And then I found this Etro velvet navy blazer to complement it. And then it worked so well through the sequence because he comes in, they go to the gallery in Pasadena. She takes her jacket off, you see her shoulder. There's gonna be movement. You know, she was on the piano and he kind of grabs her. It ended up being so beautiful. Hayes' look when he first comes into the gallery to buy some art, or to buy every piece of art from her. I wanted his sort of street style to be, you know, I'm not gonna lie, of course I looked at Harry, you know, like I did, because I do like a lot of Harry's street style looks. Yes, of course you pull inspiration, because as a costume designer, that's what you do. You have, you know, inspiration and mood boards, but it doesn't really start until you get the clothes on the actors. He's wearing an Isabel Marant sweater, and he's wearing a Bottega tank. He would always come in to his fittings wearing a simple baseball hat. And we had tried some other baseball hats because he's getting paparazzi'd on the street, and he really liked his own personal hat, and I did too, so we chose that. Also, I liked the texture of the sweater. Besides looking cool and great, it looked also warm and inviting. The scene is so long, and there are moments of him being vulnerable, but also it still looked like his pop star self. After we tried it on, he texted me and he was like, can you give me the details? And he purchased it like right after so that he could have it because he loved it. When Solène is traveling to visit Hayes in the hotel, she knows what she's going to do. You know, she knows why she's going. She puts on this very sexy two-piece Fendi ensemble, the Dior trench coat. I love the movement of the trench coat. I loved that there was a reveal when she got into the room. You know, in this scene, they ended up playing off of what she was wearing. It's such a like hot scene. It started off so sexy and hot, and then it kind of goes into them being very playful, and you see these sort of different sides of what's going on, and you know, in the hotel. I love that it was sheer, but it wasn't too sheer, you know, and then we put the right undergarments under it too, so it wasn't so revealing. And the fabric was so light, it was almost just this like silk gauze. It was one of those pieces that I saw that I have to see this on. And then when I brought it into the fitting, Anne was like, what is this? And then she put it on and we were like, oh my God, it's like drop dead gorgeous on her. This purple dress is by Acne. It was a lot about the color, but when it came in, Anne was immediately like just drawn to the color. I didn't realize that Amy was gonna have the purple artwork. I was like, oh my God, her dress matches the artwork, like exact. It just sort of rounded out the story for me. She was started this way, and then all of a sudden she's this, you know, rock star's girlfriend. We still wanted it to sort of, you know, make sense, even though she is wearing on the side of the stage that one look. She's in a Balmain jacket. She's in Versace leather pants. She's in a gold Tom Ford tank. So there's like those designers she had access to. I think she did take a little bit of that from being on tour with them for that summer, and it's a bit more elevated, but it's still in her wheelhouse because of the color. This is the third project I've worked on with Anne, and so we have a really, really nice working relationship. And I love collaborating with her because she listens to me, I listen to her, we feed off of each other, and in fittings it just turns into something like so great. I knew while we were filming it that that's what was gonna happen because everybody worked so well together, and it just turned out beautiful, I thought.